Leadership, Service, and Achievement Awards. Leadership is an outstanding service to a school. When donated generously and with imagination, it creates a vision and energy for the student body that become the momentum for success. We have benefited from such leadership and service this year as exercised by our student council officers, executive board, and class officers. Gold medals for outstanding leadership, service, and collaboration in fulfilling their responsibilities as student council officers are awarded to Jessica Murphy, Patricia Verdesoto, and Josephine Dejanovic. Gold medals for leadership, service to the Preston community, and fidelity to the responsibilities of their executive board offices are awarded to co-presidents Lauren Gonidakis and Danielle Raynon. Jenna Agatek, Mazi Camacho, Julie Gomez, Diana Gonzalez, Maria Heffinger, Lauren Henderson, Diana Jasizin, Lynette Serrano, Marinelle Stewart, and Ashley Vega. The gold medal for distinguished executive board service is awarded to Samantha Herndon. Gold medals are awarded to the senior class officers, President Jessica Kerrigan and Treasurer Gina Pirelli. Gold medals for notable leadership and service in specific arenas of school life are awarded to Anna Asarino, Melissa Belaze, Catherine Bryan, Angelique Cruz, Tara Elliott, Chelsea Fiola, Gracie Fregali, Christina Linehan, Samantha Lizio, Irene Martinez, Moleca Mich, Julia Mooney, Victoria Precioso, Angela Sepulveda, and Eugenia Wolovich. for leadership and service in the Preston musical theater program for at least 2 years are awarded to Anna Asarino, Angelique Cruz, Gracie Fregali, Irene Martinez, Jessica Rivera, and Catherine Werner. The Silver Beach Post American Legion Awards for Service and Academic Achievement were awarded on May 30th. The graduates who received these awards, are asked to stand in place and receive the recognition of the audience. Jessica Murphy and Renee Perillo. The Ronnie Donovan Memorial Award for Courage is awarded to Alexis Sassone. The Helen and Anton Wagner Memorial Award for outstanding service and compassion in school and community is presented by Sister Carol Wagner to Marinelle Stewart. Association Award for Outstanding Academic Achievement, Leadership and Service is presented by Christina Fergali, President of the Association, to Jessica Murphy. The Board of Trustees Award for Unique Leadership and Service to the Preston community is presented by Michael Daly, President of the Board, and is awarded to Josephine Dejanovic. Principals Award for Leadership and Service are given this year to Jessica Kerrigan and Patricia Verdesoto. The Sister Mary Carmela Stapleton Alumni Association Award for Exemplary Preston Spirit is presented by Sister Mary Carmela to Gina Pirelli. The Divine Compassion Award for integrity, generosity in service, exemplary leadership, and consistency in academic performance is presented by Sister Susan Merritt, President of the Sisters of the Divine Compassion, to Moleca Mich. Preston is proud to announce that 63% of the class of 2010 was awarded college and university scholarships and grants amounting to a grand total value of $10,400,810. Specific scholarships are announced in the enclosure in the graduates' programs. I now invite Irene Martinez to deliver her farewell.
Thank you, and good afternoon. What's the world's greatest lie? The boy asked, completely surprised. It's this, that at a certain point in our lives, we lose control of what's happening to us, and our lives become controlled by fate. That's the world's greatest lie. That is a quotation from page 18 of the English translation of The Alchemist, a novel by Portuguese writer Paulo Coelho. The story itself speaks inspiringly of a shepherd boy who leaves his home in Spain to cross the Egyptian desert in search of a treasure that he saw in a dream. Sure, I am just a schoolgirl from the Bronx, whose great adventures consist of rushing for the bus down East Tremont to get to Preston before the doors close and I have to sign in late. But I still found that I could relate very much to the boy in the story without undertaking an epic journey across the desert. After reading the novel's last page, I realized that the story resonates with me because I too have dreams, and I'm not always sure about what I have to do with them. I'm sure most of you have felt something similar. Life is unpredictable. You don't need me to tell you that. But that doesn't mean that we have no control over events, or that we are destined to be victims of fate. We, the class of 2010, are here today, ending our high school careers. But today does not mark our transformation into young adults. We've been transforming into young adults all along. Instead, this ceremony marks the beginning of our journey towards an unknown future. It's scary. It's unpredictable, and that's precisely why it's scary. If we could see clearly the metaphorical road ahead of us, we might step on the gas, or we might just hit the brakes as hard as we can, depending on what lies ahead. If we could see the ground in front of us, all the way to the horizon, we would not hesitate to take our next steps, whether they be on the same path or on a much-needed detour. But this is not the case, because life is so very unpredictable. 5 years ago, as 8th graders, when we were asked about which high school we hoped to attend, we might have said, God only knows. When we were freshmen, and our parents asked us, how did you do on that test you took yesterday? We may have answered, God only knows. And during the past 2 years, when people asked us what we wanted to do in our lives, or what colleges we were looking at, or what major we might be interested in, we may have mumbled an answer, but in our hearts, it was once again, God only knows. And often, it is true that only God knows what's in store for us, but we must not forget the power of faith and of hope that resides in each of us to help us make these difficult decisions, to endure difficult situations, and to walk confidently towards our futures. The unpredictability of life has another side to it, one that we tend to neglect. Instead of envisioning the worst that could happen and allowing ourselves to be paralyzed by fear, shouldn't we be telling ourselves, only God knows the good things that will happen tomorrow? It might be a lack of faith in the universe around us, in God himself, or in ourselves, when really, we must learn how to trust that, in the words of the alchemist, whoever you are, or whatever it is that you do, when you really want something, all the universe conspires in helping you achieve it. To realize one's destiny is a person's only real obligation. Despite our being fallible human beings who face obstacles and struggle to overcome adversity, we must remember that it is a lie that our lives are controlled by fate. Although our ultimate destiny may already be written, the choice of which path we take to get there is ours alone. We should view the unpredictability of life as a wave that we sail upon, a prevailing force that pushes us closer to our dreams of who we want to be and what we want to achieve. And the first step in learning how to ride such a wave is to acknowledge that we do not have to be afraid. For with knowledge comes confidence. And I'm not talking about mere academic knowledge, but awareness. An awareness of self, of others, of the world, and of life. Just imagine that you were aware of all the bad things that were going to happen to you tomorrow, that you are going to trip on that stair or miss the bus on your way to that important meeting. What would you do then? Just maybe you would take the elevator instead of the staircase, or leave your house 20 minutes earlier to catch the bus. And the day might turn out to be a great one instead. The truth is, if we knew everything in store for us in the future, we might never be afraid. However, since God only knows, the only way for us to overcome our fear is to realize that, as Coelho writes, people need not fear the unknown if they are capable of achieving what they need and want. And believe me, girls, we are. We are prepared academically, as we've all learned from any number of Preston alums who have returned to tell us of their successes. When the painful memories of marathon study sessions, impending deadlines, and innumerable essays begin to fade, we'll arrive confidently at our colleges as students who know how to write 10-page research papers and argue our theses convincingly. And in these 4 years, we have survived struggles that in turn have molded us, maybe hardened us, and taught us how to depend on each other, how to depend on ourselves, and how to depend on faith to get us through the day. And today, as a result of this, we are graduating as one of the closest Panther packs that Preston has ever seen. Believe me, girls, we are prepared. In closing, I want to share with you a Filipino saying that my mother shared with me. Ang hindi lumingon sa pinanggalingan ay hindi makarating sa patutunguhan. In English, if you don't look back to where you came from, you can never get to where you want to go. If there is a past experience that caused you to deal with tough consequences, be thankful and use it. Never make the same mistake again. If anyone has made your life especially difficult, thank them for making you stronger and use it. Never let anyone push your buttons or hurt you that way again. If there was ever a time when you felt hopeless, thank all those who lent you a helping hand. Never again forget what big roles your family, your friends, and God play in your life. The past is there for our use, and the future is there for our taking. And in the present, never feel that you are powerless to conquer the world, for the universe will always conspire to help you do just that. Thank you, and good luck to us, the class of 2020.
Thank you, Irene. I am honored to invite Michael Daly, representing Preston's Board of Trustees, to come to the podium to present the board's congratulations.
Ladies, what an exciting time for the last 4 years to have been a student at Preston High School and now the graduating class. During this period of time, on a very local level, you saw and experienced the 60th anniversary of the opening of this fantastic institution. You've seen the election and inauguration of the first African-American president of our country. And as our keynote speaker alluded to, although not necessarily from the right school at this time, we've seen a fellow Bronxite, a fellow graduate of a Catholic high school elected to the highest court in the land. All of those obviously being extremely positive things. Most recently, we've seen a struggle on a national level to contain an environmental disaster that occurred in the Gulf, the impact of which is still unknown. But why do I say this to you? Because it's a challenge. As you know, the mission of Preston High School is to empower young women as they discover their own potential and value through a broad and challenging education, active participation in community, and a commitment to Christian service, so that they may become compassionate leaders for change in the world. Empower young women to become compassionate leaders for change in the world. This is the mission of Preston, and I invite you to accept this challenge and to seize the opportunities that your life are going to present you with. I've been asked by the Board of Trustees to express our congratulations to the class of 2010. But before I get to that, I'd like to just quickly say thank you. And I'd like to say thank you to people behind all the lovely young ladies, to the parents, families, and friends of each of the graduates for all the support that you've given them over these years. To Mrs. Grandel and her staff for the excellent job they have done to help empower you to become compassionate leaders for change in the world. And to you for making us proud to be on the Board of Trustees, knowing that the end result is the student body that we have graduating this year. So finally, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, I want to congratulate each and every one of you on your graduation and for having achieved a significant milestone in your development towards compassionate leadership. Thank you, best of luck, and have a great day.
Thank you, Mike. Well, ladies, this concludes our graduation ceremony. To all of you, we say goodbye, God bless you, and until we meet again, may the good Lord hold you in the hollow of his hand. I would ask the audience to please remain in your seats until the graduates have completed their walk down the center aisle. They will walk across the lawn to behind the cafeteria for the traditional tossing of their academic caps. Please follow them over there if you wish to take photos of the moment. We will wait a couple of minutes before signaling the toss. And so, let us proceed.
Elizabeth, look at me, Elizabeth.